What's up, YouTube? This is Good Game Nation. I'm Preston.
This is Zach. We're coming at you with a voiceover of a game here. We have Vegeta, looks like green-blue Vegeta, and we have a Goku.
And it looks like the Vegeta does not start off with a good hand. He ends up with 2 Goten Family Justice, and that is not a good opening hand.
Oh, that does look pretty brutal to start.
He does have the Brawly for the search, but that only gets him 1 card when he's already been minused so much.
So we can take a look at the Goku's hand. We have 2 Boo, a Results of Training, an Objection, a Bean, and a Prince of Speed. Pretty spicy.
So the Vegeta did use his effect already on turn 1 to search out a 6-star Brawly off of his life. And his Brawly, he searched another 1-drop Brawly. So he has a card to play next turn.
So Goku draws, and it looks like he draws another Boo. So having 3 Boo seems pretty solid for this kind of match. What Goku wants to do is survive the early game and make it to the late game.
So once it gets to late game, depending on what this Goku's playing, he's going to have an advantage over Field Presence.
Exactly. So here we see the Goku swing to untap an energy and play his second Boo, drawing a Prince of Speed. The first Boo he played drew another Bean. So now he's sitting pretty.
Okay, so now that it's Goku's turn, he has the 6-drop Brawly from the lifesteal, and he plays it directly into the energy, seeing that it's too early. Off of the Vegeta effect, he does get a Bean, so he is looking forward to sustaining throughout early pressure, if there's any early pressure, and he has a blue negate. He does have 2 green energy, so he doesn't have a negate play yet.
Yeah, this isn't the start Vegeta wants here. Also whiffing on the second Brawly. That's it's not good.
It's not good when the Vegeta has 12 to 14 targets in his deck, and on the second turn he misses all of them.
Yeah, that's not good at all. It's an indicator that there may or may not be more Brawlies in his hand currently. So that is something that Goku needs to watch out for.
So he swings with another crit, and he gives up a combo for the Boo to keep his life up, sitting still at 8 life.
Yeah, so here, again, as we mentioned, Goku just needs to survive. So being able to drop both Boos was beneficial to the Goku, because the Goku can now combo off and not lose to the Vegeta. Here we see Goku getting ahead of himself here.
Yeah, trying to figure out what mana to play,
yeah,
and then misplaying.
So he knew what he wanted to do, he just did it a little bit too fast. But he charged the kill that he drew, played the objection to get the blue mana to play the third Boo. So now we're looking at a Whis Coercion, a Prince of Speed, and a Results of Training, and 2 Sensu Beans in hand. It's not too bad.
After he plays his next Boo, he passes over to Vegeta, and the Vegeta is going to be drawing a Beerus that turn, and he plays it directly into his energy. He's looking to get stuff on the board early game, and he short-sightedly charges a card that could be beneficial to him later.
Yeah, I do think Vegeta might need to slow it down just a little bit here. The Beerus is it's a pretty strong tempo play later on in the game.
So he lifesteals again, getting himself a Gotenks, but swings back into leader again, just to meet another comboed Boo that he had on the field.
Yeah, it was the option there was either to combo with the Vegeta to try to make the Goku waste more, or just let it go through. So we see Goku charge a Whis and just pass. It looks like for the turn he drew the Piccolo, so he's just kind of sitting there waiting for turn 5 to happen.
Yeah, he knows that he has an energy advantage over, and he has hand advantage. He sees that he's struggling. He sees that the Vegeta is struggling through this play, especially now that he's played a second big Brawly into his energy.
Yeah, this is definitely a sign for the Goku that you can take it as easy as possible. You just want to slow roll right here. The assailant Vegeta was a pretty big tempo swing right here. Vegeta's able to awaken and swing twice with crit this turn. That's something that the Goku's probably going to let slide.
So the awakening does give him another assailant Vegeta and one drop Broly that he can continue to search for his bioform or a third 6-drop Broly. So he's looking to the end game at this point, but he's falling short on several misplays throughout and a bad hand early. So he swung in and finally gets through with a crit.
First damage of the game over to Goku. He's going to just take both of these crits and kind of go on about his way. He's sitting there, 6 health. He's able, going into turn 5, looking to play the results in his hand. Everything looking pretty solid. Draws the Furious Yell for the turn. And he's now able to play the results, awaken, draw his 2 cards. And then from this point, it is just a matter of controlling the board.
So now that the Goku hit the results of training, gained his energy back, and drew his 2 cards, he's sitting at higher life, awoken, and able to draw off of his effect.
Yeah, Goku's currently swinging at 20k at the moment, so there's nothing that he really needs to worry about. This is the stage of the game where Vegeta needed to have a bigger board presence.
So he's going to swing into the assailant, getting rid of that second free crit and taking that off the board. And the Vegeta lets it go. He doesn't think it's worth saving.
We're sitting here right now. We're looking at a Princess Speed, 2 Piccolo, and
there's the Princess Speed played out of his hand.
Yeah, this is pretty solid. So Goku decides to tap out for mana to draw 2 more cards. We see him draw the Bulma and an objection, going into a turn where he's still able to take life.
Yeah, he's still able to take some damage and not worry because he's still up. The Vegeta would have to pull off a miracle to do 6 damage this turn. So he's sitting good, tapped out. The Vegeta plays the Assailant Vegeta he drew last turn into mana, and then taps into another 1-star. He does find the 5-drop Raleigh this turn, so he is able to possibly play it this turn to get rid of a few cards in the Goku's hand. He is starting to have a progressed field. He did draw the 7-drop Beerus this turn for the turn, so he's still drawing a lot of high-cost cards.
There's a lot of high-cost cards coming in, which could swing the game in the Vegeta's favor. Currently, it looks like Goku has full control of what's going on at the moment. We'll see if Vegeta decides to play something else in his hand or drop the Broly.
So this is a very interesting play by the Vegeta. At the moment, I'm not sure if it's the best play since he does have the Bioform. He plays the Gotenks out of his hand for some reason. He has the Bioform. He could drop 2 cards immediately. Instead, he goes for 1 card out of his hand for 1 card from his life.
Yeah, I do think that it was the wrong play. I also don't know why Vegeta decides to not crit this turn, giving Goku a life, and we see him take a Whis Coercion off the top.
That's correct. He didn't crit. He's sitting at 4 life, so he could crit and still be okay. And he just gives him 1 card out of his hand.
It's definitely.
And then he gets another card out of his life for the Gotenks attack.
And then Goku decides to take the Gotenks attack. He drops the objection into the discard and goes ahead and he picks up a Bulma as well.
And the objection discarding the objection is great for him because he's not going to play it this turn. And he had another objection that he just played into mana.
Moving into this turn, he picks up another Gotenks. So more sitting here.
So with his 4th Boo on the board, he draws into this, and he's looking at the board presence with 2 1-drops and a tapped Gotenks.
So I think what we want to do here is that Goku wants to swing, but the issue is not you. When you swing with Goku, you want to get the full benefit. You want to untap 2 mana, and currently he'd only be untapping 1. So I would expect him to play the Bulma just to waste the second mana.
So he just needs to drop mana just so that he can replenish his mana with a Goku effect.
I think that's the best way to play this turn currently. There's a lot of options he can do afterwards.
So he does play the Bulma and searches the 4-drop Whis. So now he has 2 mana tapped and his Goku's ready to untap 2 energy. We get a quick cut and he does swing with his Goku sitting at 20.
It looks like we swing into the Vegeta.
So he's going for untapping 2, drawing a card, and doing 1 damage.
Again, because it's the starter deck, Goku is currently sitting on 20k. This is where I'm not sure what happens. So Sensu beaning to just make it even means Vegeta still needs to waste another card to not die here. So we get rid of a Brawling on board.
So he loses a board presence just to break even with the Goku.
And we choose to Prince of Speed into the Gotenks. This should be an easy clear. I don't think Vegeta wants to spend any more resources trying to save that card.
He already spent 1 on the field this turn to not take a single damage. And now the Goku has open energy to play Gotenks.
Yeah, so the Goku drops the Gotenks right here, swinging into Vegeta for a free discard. Since being really helped us out a lot. And he has another Gotenks. So this turn he's able to swing into the Vegeta and drop 2 cards for free.
That's right. The Vegeta doesn't take damage since the Gotenks is only 15 and the Vegeta sitting at 20 due to the Sensu Bean. And the Vegeta just has to drop 2 cards and minus. So it was a big loss on field presence this turn, and he lost 2 cards out of his hand.
Goku tapped out, knowing the Vegeta's going into 6 mana, so there is no threat of the big Beerus getting through. The biggest threat at the moment is a rampaging Brawly, which with 2 in the energy is unlikely to happen. So we see the Vegeta decide to go ahead and charge a Whis Coercion, so there's 1 negate out of the way.
Yeah, it's most likely the Whis Coercion that he drew that turn, and he's running out of options, and the Goku side of the field is building up a lot faster, and Vegeta doesn't have anything to clear at the moment.
I think it's clear at this point. The Vegeta's grasping for air. Goku's been able to manipulate his mana really efficiently, able to drop a lot of threats onto the board and kind of just clear out the Vegeta's board. So here we see the rampaging Brawly come down. The Bio Brawly, sorry.
He plays the Bio Brawly, lets him choose 2 cards out of his hand that he wants to get rid of, which he had a Bulma and the Whis that he drew, so it was an easy, quick discard.
Super easy.
The Vegeta still doesn't decide to crit this turn.
I don't even think that the Whis is necessary in this deck the more and more I look at him play. Whis and Bulma kind of seem out of sorts here. You know, throughout the whole match, we've only seen him play it just to manipulate his mana.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I can see how this deck would want to play a Bulma early to try to mana ramp up faster, but at this point he doesn't need the mana ramp, and he's sitting on 2 Gotenks and a Prince of Speed still after getting through 2 attacks directly at his Gotenks.
And that good old turn 1 Majin Buu. So we're sitting here, and it was clear. It is clear after that turn that Goku is by far in control of this game. He was able to keep his Prince of Speed and his Gotenks alive by just comboing off of Bulma and Buu.
Yeah, that's correct.
Here we see the Furious Yell come down as an option to get rid of the Brawly. It's another double strike. I feel we're going to see the Goku swing into the Brawly. And that's exactly what happens.
He's thinking about it. He's trying to decide. He knows he's going to get his energy back, so does he need to go into the Brawly? He decides it is the better decision instead of trying to go for life. this first attack.
Yeah, I agree. So when you're sitting here and you see how bad the Vegeta's struggling to get any kind of advantage, any kind of momentum, I don't think that Goku wants to swing into the Vegeta's life just yet.
Yeah, give him a card in hand that could sway the game in his direction. So he doesn't put up a fight for the Bio Brawly and just takes it. And now we're gonna have the Gotenks swing into the leader, dropping another card out of his hand.
Yeah, having the Gotenks on the board, being able to save both of them was pretty big here. So yeah, it does net. It is a 1-for-1. Everything breaks even, but he does lose cards out of his hand. And if Vegeta takes this attack, that does leave Vegeta at 2 life. Is he gonna
So
combo?
this is a second.
He chooses to take.
Yeah, it's the second Gotenks attack that he had to drop his Bio Brawly out of his hand. And now he decides to negate the Princess Speed that would be game ending.
And so I think right here we'll see the Furious Yell swing, trying to end the game. And we see another negate. So now there's 3 out of the way. Goku passes sitting on 4 open energy with, I believe, 6 cards in his hand. He has 2 Piccolos and a gate. And 2 Piccolos and a gate. I believe he has another objection. And I believe a Furious Yell.
So we're on turn 7.
Mm-hmm.
So now the Vegeta finally draws into an objection that he's not willing to use at this turn to mana ramp up. It's a little too late, a little too late for him to object. He attacks into the Gotenks, or he's attacking into the Gotenks again, because at this point he's been tilted. He's dropped 4 cards out of his hand. He got 2 life out of it, so he gained a couple. And we see him counting his mana, trying to decide which of his cards in his hand is most useful at this point.
Or do we
What's going to turn the game?
Exactly. Do we decide to drop the Brawly, or do we decide to drop the Beerus at this point? Dropping the Beerus would almost end the game for Vegeta himself, not having any mana open to possibly negate an attack the following turn, especially with the Vegeta only swinging into the Gotenks. So here we see the Brawly come down. Goku loses a Piccolo and a Whis Coercion.
So now since the last few turns he's been hit with Gotenks so many times, does he attack into leader, or is he going to try to clear the board? He's been getting beaten down by board control, so is he going to... So it looks like he's attacking into the Princess Speed.
Vegeta needs to clear the board, needs to try to clear the board. Swinging into the Gotenks wasn't the smartest play. He should have tried to swing into the Furious Yell, because the Furious Yell is it is an out to anything on the board.
Yeah, I think the losing 4 cards has him tilted, because he attacked with a 30,000 attacker into the 15.
Yeah,
Gotenks.
this is where I expected Goku to kind of push for game. So here we see him draw a Beerus for the turn, drops one of his Super Saiyan Gotenks, untaps the green energy, and he draws another Beerus off the Gotenks. We see him swing into the Brawly.
Yeah, he swings into the Brawly, untaps his energy.
So he's sitting on 5 open energy again.
So he has 5 open energy after playing.
Draws another Gotenks off the attack. This doesn't look too good for the Vegeta.
So he's sitting with 3 double strikes, and he drew a 4th double strike.
It plays another Gotenks, untaps a green and a blue, and now here we're looking at what's probably going to be the ending turn to this game.
Yeah, he has 2 25,000 double strikers in the Gotenks. Princess Speed with another double strike.
So here we see,
then Furious Yell. If everything can't get past, he still has a Furious Yell. So he has to get past 4. The Vegeta has to play past 4 double strike attacks just to win.
There's so many cards to get through, and the Brawly wouldn't even stay on the board with the Furious Yell being able to get rid of it anyway. So here we see the Sensu being in the Piccolo. So we right away swing with the Gotenks to see if we can end the game at that point.
We have a Furious Yell into leader Vegeta.
There's no point to combo. We're sitting, making the Vegeta waste cards, Princess Speed into it, see if he can stop it again.
So he's running out of hand. He has to combo on everything because he's
Drops
under on.
another Piccolo.
So he has to drop another 10,000 boost just to stay alive.
Well, just had a swing with Gotenks. There is no negate, so we do get to combo. Here comes down a Piccolo.
So he plays the Piccolo, giving him an advantage
on
his other. So he starts with a higher attack of 25, and then he's dropping 2 Piccolos. So he's going for game on this combo. He sees that there's 2 mana open, and he's played all of his combo cards already. So he's taking everything on his board. And then you
60?
see the scoop.
Yeah, that was a 60 combo, and I believe Vegeta only had 3 to 4 cards in his hand, with 2 Piccolos being down. It was pretty brutal for the game.
And there he shows what's left in his life.
Overall, great game for the Goku. Vegeta was pretty. From the start, you can see.
Keep going.
You can see that the Vegeta was struggling from the start.
Yeah, he didn't have a great hand early, and then he kept drawing into his high energy cost Brawlies, and a few misplays later by playing that Beerus into the energy early and not holding on to it to help clear board really was
that might have been game that might have if he had the Beerus, that would have given the Vegeta a better chance to come back into the game. He would have been able to clear off a Gotenks or a Furious Yell and then swing into the Prince of Speed. Overall, just not the Vegeta's game. Goku was able to pull it out. So go ahead and let us know what you guys like, what you didn't like. Like, comment, subscribe. All of our links and stuff are in the description or somewhere around here. Follow us on social media. And we'll see you again. This is Good Game Nation. We're out.